Let's get started. So, about me, if you don't know me, I usually say myself as I build human networks. I won't emphasize on other things. You can just read it out. And if you already know me, then you don't need an introduction. But yeah, I have been working for last 3 years for different communities, and I've been part of a lot of communities lately. And I have contributed in building scalable communities, not just in India, across the world. And in that process, I have made mistakes. So the complete series, like the complete series of failure stories is covered into different episodes where we talk about how failure happens, but we don't talk about it. And we really, ignore it at many times, and we don't have a normal process for it. So for success, people post on LinkedIn, but for failure, people don't. You get a trophy, you post on Instagram, you get 1,000 subscribers, you post on Insta, you post everywhere. But if you don't get enough views, if you don't get multiple things which you want or which you want your way, and you fail at something, you don't really care to post it, or you don't even really care to look at it because you already failed at it. So this story, this is a series which comes with a part of stories where we can understand, how good. Just give me a second. Look for this. I'm able to. Yeah. Okay. So this emphasizes on how you can use these opportunities of failures, and maybe normalize the process. It's not not okay to fail. It's totally fine if you're failing. That's fine. That's a part of the process. Okay. So yeah, let's get started. Yeah. My journey has been through many ups and downs, and I have actually gone through many success stories, many failures, and a lot of failures which I never shared with a lot of you. Or also, like if you talk about my very close friends, they also don't know about a lot of failures which I have gone through, and I will bring all of that conversation into this series in different episodes. I don't know how many episodes this is going to be. I'm also inviting few guests lately, maybe after my stories have a finish. And yeah, let's see. So these are some of my events which happen, and stage fear to a lot of things. Okay, and I'll share all of that by in terms of episode. So today's focus is based upon health and hustle, and how I ignored my health totally in terms of hustle. And yeah, let's go ahead and talk about it. So what is failure? What according to you is failure? Can you tell me in the comments? I'm reading them, so it will give me a good insight about my audience. What according to you is failure? Like when do you realize that okay, you failed at something? Yeah. Anyone would like to give that? Yeah, Nikhil also has. Nikhil is one of my classmates, and he has a lot of failure stories, just like me, in academics as well, in real life as well, and so many different scenarios. So yeah, failure is a setback. Okay, when you don't meet up to your expectations, applications get rejected from certain communities. Yeah, so all this are failures to us, right? As an individual, we have an expectation from us that hey Ali, I am applying to XYZ program, so if I'm not getting selected, that is a failure to me. That is a setback to me. Okay, and if I'm getting rejected multiple times for multiple opportunities, so that's a big failure for me. Like I don't know what's happening or what's not happening. Okay, and that's why people don't talk about it, or people even when people talk about it, they are very concise about not emphasizing on that failure part, and so many different ways. What I learned from watching series and episodes about failure is that one thing which if you have watched Mirzapur, okay, that's a very classic story of failure success in terms of gangs, but yeah, you can relate to it a lot, and Suits as well. So both of these, if you have not watched it, I will recommend you watching Suits and Mirzapur as well. And one dialogue which really hurt me in मिर्जापुर was बहुत तकलीफ होती है जब आप योग्य हो और आपकी योग्यता को ना पहचाने. So at most of the times when you are actually applying for some community, you're applying for a post and you're getting rejected for that post, and you know that you are capable enough, you have all the skill set, and you see your peers and you're like, man, this guy is selected, okay, and if you try to match the skills and you're like, you know, I have better skills, but then too I'm not selected. What is the reason why I'm not selected? Okay. And so many different thoughts go into your mind, and then that gives you another setback than the main failure. Okay. And this really gives you an idea about failure is not something which you don't fulfill as per your expectation, but it is something which you think the world or the peers around you, or your family, or others approve of. Okay. So it's not something that you wanted, and you failed at it, and then you are it has happened with me at many times when I failed myself, and I was okay with it. So, for example, I failed in maths 3 for 5 times. Okay. And maths is my favorite subject. Okay. Maths and science is my favorite subject. But I failed at maths 5 times. And I didn't feel bad even once. Okay. After even failing for 5 times, I didn't feel bad even for an hour. I was like, I failed at maths. I'm like, okay, oh, what's the big deal? Okay, that's fine. Okay. But what I really introspected was how people talked about me in the private chats and in the open communities, like, Ali fails at maths and XYZ and XYZ and XYZ. And that gives me more reasons to come and introspect that, hey, Ali, are you really that weak that you're failing at maths? What's the problem? Okay. And that gives you another version of the failure. So failure is just a normal process. It has been there for years, and it will be there for years. It will be a continuous process. So don't make a hype out of it. It's totally normal to get failures, but don't compare your failures with others, and don't kind of approve of a society that, okay, if they approve of my failure. So let's say you don't you go for a job and you don't get a good salary. Okay. And your family members are okay with it. Okay. And they would be like, okay, you don't fail, you didn't fail. Okay, you have a job, you have a settled job, you get a salary every month. But if you talk about a person like me, I'm kind of an entrepreneur. I don't like doing jobs. So if you talk to me in that settlement, I will be like, that is a failure for me. Okay, I can't stand that job. It's just a burden to me. Okay, so understand your definition of failure. Derive your definition of failure. Okay, now coming back to the story of hustle. Okay, so um, when I was 16 and 17 years old, I used to see a lot of motivation videos. Okay. And I used to see a lot of, this kind of posts. I used to watch Gary Vee a lot. Gary Vee is a very good guy, but, I used to watch a lot of motivational speeches and posts. And that is one of the reasons why I kind of, put myself in extreme conditions in many times. And yeah, so people say, hustle, hustle, you gotta hustle, you gotta get up, you gotta hustle, you gotta sleep. Okay. 90% hustle, 10% sleep, whatnot. And the internet is fully, filled with this motivational guys who post, uh, quoting Bill Gates, quoting Elon Musk, and whatnot. When you introspect a middle class life, where you are a student and you don't have much of a money you're spending. Okay, if you see your friends spending at Starbucks, most probably they are using their father's money. If their fathers don't give them money, they don't have Starbucks. Okay, so if you introspect a middle class family, if you see there, right, you're already hustling to keep your life together, your family is hustling to keep your education together, and there's a lot going on. And once you get this kind of hustle on your mind, that, "Hey, man, I need to hustle, I need to hustle, I need to put in everything which I have," at that moment you go crazy. You don't realize what you're doing, you just keep doing, keep pushing your body to the extreme limits. Okay. When I was in diploma third year and second year, I used to work around 18 to 20 hours a day. Okay, you heard that right. Okay, 18 to 20 hours a day, and that was like I was working for different communities. I was working for myself. I was working to pay my office rent. I didn't really need an office, but because of society approval, I needed an office. So I had to pay the rent. So all this scenarios. So I used to work like 20 hours, 18 hours, 19 hours, and I used to sleep very little, 2 hours, 3 hours. And obviously, body doesn't support that. So Red Bulls, Monster, you name an crocodile, you name an energy drink, and that is already I have consumed that. Okay, and so many of them because body doesn't support that. Okay, body is not meant to be worked for 20 hours, 19 hours. It is meant to be you need sleep, you need to give rest to your body. And that really changed everything. If you tell me now, I have around every week, I guess, I have to take around 5 to 6 medicines. um, in 3 months, in one quarter, I have to go to doctor twice. You see the specs. Okay, this is one of the many reasons of this hustle, because I have to now wear specs everywhere whenever I'm looking at the screen, because it hurts. Okay, if I look at the screen for 20 minutes like a straight guy, like straight looking at the screen, my eyes burn like hell. It a lot of health problems. And my immunity actually dropped so much that the COVID was like, my family was so worried because of the COVID thing, because they were like, Ali, your immunity is so negligible that if it rains 32 hours straight, you get ill. Okay, so if you get that thing, we don't even know if you will stand even a week. And like I'm constantly on medicines. Even if you see, I have when I come to take sessions, when I was earlier going in different conferences and different sessions, I used to carry a bottle, which is a detox bottle, and it had a lot of medicines in it. And it was a green color thing, which I used to carry every time when I used to go for a session. I used to drink one sip every now and then, and that is also part of my medicine. Okay, so I actually forgot about my health totally, completely. Starting my day with McDonald's, because I hardly came home. When I used to come home, it was really like for an hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, and then even when everyone was sleeping, I was up on laptop, and it was like a crazy lifestyle. And if you tell me, right, if you could, Ali, if you could go back and change something, I would say I would change nothing, because at that moment I was so I was so into hustle that I actually forgot everything aside. I kept everything aside. And one instance where you see this image was taken in Kerala, and if you see my face, okay, that's my face after traveling around 5 colleges back to back, flights, trains, buses. And I was so exhausted that day. I had to conduct a session. It was a full day session, a workshop. And after that workshop, I had to distribute around 100 certificates to participants. And I stood up there with this face and I gave certificates to all. Okay, and this was you can clearly look at my face. My eyes are swollen. The whole face is looking like I am just departed from a hospital or something. And yeah, that is one of the instances where after returning home, after this trip, I was around on bed for around 1.5 months, and it was extreme pain. Okay, so where do you draw the line? Where do you say that hustle and health, can they go hand in hand? Should you not hustle at all then? If hustle is so bad, why should you hustle at all? So I came to some conclusions, and I came to some points which I would like to share at the end of the session. Okay, where I draw a line between how much to hustle and how much to not. And what criteria you should set for your health, for yourself, and for your for whatever you do in your life. Okay, it's totally fine if you think that you can get a job and you can settle in your life. That's totally fine. Okay, earlier I used to judge people who had jobs. Okay, it was like they have a job, and they work 9 to 5 for someone. They work in a in an agreement, and etc etc etc. But as I grew up, like now I'm 23. Okay, and I look back at how I used to think and how I used to operate, and it's totally different now. I don't really I don't disapprove of having job. I myself think that I should settle for some job sometimes, okay, because of all the things which go around, okay. So hustle is one concept which a lot of major youth is attracted to. They want to do. They want to hustle a lot, but they don't have a proper direction, or they don't have a proper plan for it. They just go jump in and they hustle, hustle, hustle. And what happens is, if they don't taste success, then that hustle turns into something very negative in their heads, and it will lead to extreme steps. And if something turns to be really successful, you really feel that after a few time, after a few days, after a few months, that what you compromised was your health. And there are so many proverbs which says, jaan hai to jahan hai, health is wealth, and there are so many proverbs for health as well. Okay, but it people would also, I saw a lot of motivational quotes as well, which says, if you have health, you don't have money. Okay, then also it is a waste of life, right? No, it is not. Okay, so understand that. Okay, uh, approval of yourself and approval of society. Okay, these two are different things. Okay, a lot of people tell me today as well, even when I was in the TEDx, on the TEDx stage, I was delivering my TEDx talk, and I was very, 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 kind of, you can say, I was very nervous because I never was in such a scenario where I will go on a stage, share my story, and all that stuff. Okay, and when I got off the stage, I met a lot of people, and all of them said one thing to me, was like, "Hey Ali, your family would be so proud, right? Your parents would be so proud. Your friends would be so proud that Ali, you has given a TEDx talk, and they would be, really, really so happy for you." And I was like, guys, this is not a government job, okay? I don't have a government job, okay, so that they are happy. They don't even understand what I do, okay, half the times. They just try to figure out what Ali is trying to do, okay. And I'm much of a close person, so I don't share a lot of stuff, okay. And it's more like, I am close into myself, so I don't even share what I achieve, all the achievements, much of the things, to my close friends, to my family members, okay. If they know, they know. If they don't know, they don't know. I don't personally go to them and share that, okay. And that kind of setting, okay, is something you need to figure out, okay. So to me, as an individual, my hustle is to keep myself together, okay. My hustle earlier was to prove everyone that Ali is different, okay. And that's why I took a toll on my health, I took a toll on everything, and I came up with working hard, really hard, okay, which was not necessary at that time. If I look back, with my peers and everyone who is currently, kind of sharing the space with me, they're also doing good in life. Okay, it's not like they are doing really bad in life. It's just that I am just a bit ahead of them. Okay, in very few cases. Okay, and it's just that, even when I say I'm ahead of them, I don't say in terms of money or something. Okay, I'm just ahead of them in terms of learning. Okay, because I failed a lot and I learned a lot. So the learning experience is kind of a lot. I have a lot of learning experience from that failures, and that's what I continue. So if you try to tell me, if you try to ask me that, hey Ali, if you were a young 18 years old, 16 years old, what would be your advice to anyone, or even if you are if you are 20, 22, 25, my advice would be to keep this intact. So this points I have actually applied to myself, and it really worked. I also gave this points to a few of my mentees, and they also really thanked me, say that it really works out for them. Okay. So the first point is hustle when you are awake. Okay. So it's not about hustle every time. Okay. Hustle when you are awake. Okay. Whenever you wake up in the morning, okay, from that time to the time you sleep, you go on to the bed. Okay. That is your time to hustle. Okay, that is your entire time. You have around 10 hours, 8 hours. Okay, that's more than enough for your hustle. Okay, whatever you want to do, sleep like a baby. Okay, so Don't compromise your sleep unless you are for a hackathon. Okay, 24 hours hackathon. I really disapprove of such hackathons. Okay, which are 24 hours hackathons where you jump up in night, make a product in 24 hours, because night is for sleep. Okay, so if you want to keep hackathon, keep it for 2 days. That is more appropriate than keeping students awake the whole night. And then it just promoting the hustle culture without any reward. Okay, so sleep like a baby. Okay, always. How do people sleep? How do babies sleep? They don't worry about the world. They just sleep. I will tell you a story, a very simple story. When I used to sleep after coming home, working so many hours, uh, I used to speak while I was asleep. Okay, I was speaking numbers. I was speaking, my algorithms. I was speaking, अरे model train नहीं हुआ, right? ये हो गया, वो I was constantly murmuring something, uh, even while I was sleeping. Okay, so that is like a constant. My brain was like so much, active that it was constantly working, 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 working. It was never getting rest, and that really isn't how you should do things. Okay, sleep like a baby. Now I do it. Okay, so if you know my schedule nowadays, it's around, like, I sleep around 12 or 1, and once I sleep, I get up around in the morning 11 or 12. Okay, that's like complete 12 hours of sleep. And sometimes, because I have an habit of being awake for around 2 years, so I don't get, as soon as I get on the bed, I don't get a sleep because I have a habit of just being awake. So I kind of try to apply some strategies, reading books, navigating through Twitter and trends, and seeing all this fancy news. And then I kind of jump sleep whenever it happens. Okay, so you might find me awake sometimes at 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. But that is something where I have just woken up from my half of sleep, and then I'm checking messages or something to go back to sleep again. Okay, so sleep like a baby always. Okay, don't force your body. Um, so when I say don't force your body, I mean to say learn to say no. Okay, learn to say no. Like I had so many invitations for so many different conferences, and I never said them no. If it was even for 2 hours, 3 hours away, even if I was paying for my travel, I never said no. It was always a yes. So it was like, okay, I will come, I will deliver I will deliver the session, I will deliver this, I'll deliver that. Okay, you want goodies, I will bring in goodies, I will do this, I will do that. And I always forced my body to take that for all of this. Okay. So after the Kerala session, I realized that I should not force my body. Okay. After that specific session, when I came back home, and doctors are always angry with me. I don't know why. Now I know why, but earlier doctors were so angry with me that last time when I went, so before I was going to that trip, okay, this trip, this image which I showed you, before I was going to this trip, I went to the doctor and I told doctor that can you give me an injection which can give me 100% energy and I don't feel tired, and please give me such an injection which can help me to do so. And doctor looked at me and he literally gave me a bad word and he was like, what is wrong with you? Okay. What are you trying to do? And I was like, if you don't want to do it, I will go to another doctor and I will get it done. Okay. And then he was like, okay, I will give you an injection. And then he gave me an injection of that. It's like, you get a lot of sleep in that. Okay. So I don't know. He actually reversed it. Okay. And he gave me an injection which could heal my body. So if you get a sleep, you will, just go to sleep for around 12 to 15 hours. And I missed my flight next day. It was my morning flight, and I had to arrive Kerala by the evening, and the session was next day. And I literally missed my flight the next day. And when I woke up, I was around 2 hours late to that flight, and yeah, and I was like, okay, what happened? And to me, money was nothing. Okay, so that time I was earning a lot as well. So immediately booked another flight the same day. As soon as I woke up, I booked another flight and I went to deliver the session. Okay, so don't force your body. Okay, that's really really bad. And I know if you tell me now, I will definitely I cancel sessions 20 minutes before if I'm not feeling well. I'm like, sorry, I can't do it. You want, you can maybe transfer it for tomorrow, next week. I am ready, but I'm not feeling well. I'm not going to go for the session. Okay, and that is something which I really keep it on. I have seen a lot of communities give you a lot of work, and that is something which you need to draw a line between, right? That this is community work. Even if you are working for a company and company is paying you a lot of money, you need to figure out a line and say that I am going to do only this much of work and I'm not going to do everyone's work. Okay, if you want to pay me, else I will search for another job. Okay, be very specific with your body, don't force your body. Okay, and the last point is health versus hustle. Who wins? Health always wins. Okay, so always keep your health a top priority and then hustle a second priority. Okay, if you don't feel like doing it, you are not in that mood, just skip it. Okay, don't do it because someone will feel bad. Okay, or someone will feel, someone's event will not get popularized because of you. Something else will happen. Don't think all that. Okay, think about your health as the first thing. And when you go to international conferences, and if you are a speaker there, most of the times they really consider your health as the first thing. Okay, they will ask you if you are doing okay, even a day before, a week before, and they will keep a track of you because they want to make sure that you are all in good health. Okay, it doesn't happen in India. In most of the at most of the times, it's like, even if you are like, I have a headache and you are there in the session, and it's like your session is 2 hours afterwards, they'll still be like, sir, manage kar lo. Okay, just do it your way. Okay, you are a superhero, so you can go on stage and you can rock it. Okay, and so that is a whole together a different culture. But you need to learn to give your priorities. You need to learn to set your priorities, and you need to keep health first before hustle. So yeah, that's a short story. Okay, and if you are on my Instagram, you might be aware of a lot of medicines which I share on a weekly or a monthly basis. And I keep sharing all that because I feel Instagram is more like a family to me, where I share everything. Literally, I share everything with you guys. Okay, where I go, you're there, everywhere. So yeah, if you're not connected on Instagram, let's get connected. I even talk to everyone, so it's not like I'm very reserved. On LinkedIn, I choose to talk with people or not, but on Instagram, I talk to everyone. Okay, because it is more like a social network, and I like to connect with people. So yeah, if you're looking forward to connect with me on Instagram. I hope you learned something from this session, and you got to know about a lot of things, which you should do, which you should not do, and one of my failure stories. Okay, so this failure is not redeemed yet. Okay, it was such a big failure that till it is going to approximately take me around 2 more years to recover 100% and get back to the normal life. Like, when I say normal life, it means, not worrying about eating 10 ice creams at a time. Okay, not worrying about watching the screen for 20 hours straight. Okay, and so many different things. So I'm on a slow course of Ayurveda, and I really trust that medicines very good. And yeah, but don't land up yourself in that situation. Okay, in the future, if you have a choice, go with the health. Okay, so that's it from my side. If you have any questions, I would be more than happy to take them. Anyone? If you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to take it. Else, we are good to go. Yes, because it's already 11:30, and I told you it is only 30-minute session. So I guess ended up exactly on the same time. Thank you so much, Divyanshi. Also for the certificates, guys. Okay, so I know that few people require that for your college purpose. So after the session ends, just comment there your summary from the session, and I will match your name from the sheet and send you a certificate of attendance. Okay, because I don't know how to calculate it right here in the live stream. So after the session ends, the link will be available, so you can comment your summary from the session, and you can get your certificates. Okay. I will match your name and send you an email within a day or two, and you will have them. Okay. It is a attendance certificate, so it actually has a zero value. But if you want it, no problem. I will sign it. Okay. Okay. So there is a question. What if hustle brought you far enough that you could care for yourself without worrying about other things? No. So at a time, I was earning a lot of money. Okay, I won't say how much, but I was earning a lot. Okay, and I could afford the best flights. I could afford the best food in the market. Like for example, uh, if you know, uh, you know about wireless earphones, right? So I bought around a earphone for 10,000 rupees, and I lost it the same day. And next day I bought another one instead of searching for that. Okay, and I had enough money because I was doing a lot of events, I was doing a lot of assignments, and I had enough money. Okay, to buy stuff. And but that actually didn't, I was investing so much money in my health, and I'm still investing so much money in my health that today I'm not that rich. Okay, I'm broke as hell. But I still have to buy medicines. Okay, I have to really take care of myself, because if I get something, I'm really, done. I really have to go to hospital and get myself admitted. So it is not the case. If you are hearing this from someone, maybe they are superhumans, but I'm talking about general humans. Okay, like people like you and me. So it doesn't work that way. Okay, I totally disagree with that. Okay, if you think if you earn enough money, everything will be sorted. No, it will not be. Okay, you will have to spend so much of money on all these things. Like at even when I was hustling, I used to drink around 12 to 15 cans of Red Bull within a span of 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Okay, that was my normal dose to keep hustling and keep going to through my journey. Okay, and after that, now I pay that much amount of money for my medicines. Okay, but yeah, so I realized that chasing money, chasing all that is not going to help me in the long term, and it is going to degrade me. So my family literally calls me an old man, because they see, so my nani and dadi, they have a medicine box, and their medicine box and my medicine box, if you see, my medicines are more than theirs. Okay, and they are at the age of 60, 65, where they have lived their lives, and they are on the medications for diabetes and so on, different stuff. But mine are more, because I have put in a lot of load on my body. So yeah, I don't really approve of that. Thank you so much, Divyanshi, for such a statement. Harsh also has a question. uh, how to manage sleep with college. I don't get time to work on my projects and stuff. I have to compromise on sleep, as I have to pay attention on to some lectures. So see, I never attended college. Okay, so because I was working, so what happened was I used to go to college to sleep actually. Okay, so I used to sit on the first bench. I used to I was like this, and Nikhil can tell you properly. Okay, Nikhil was my kind of partner there. Okay, and I used to just sleep on the desk. And I was so, you can say Besharam, that I used to sleep in front of the teachers, either it be HOD, either it be any teacher, and I used to just sit here and I used to just sleep. Okay. And they were like, Ali comes to college to sleep. But yeah, because I used to keep extreme things on my body. So managing time was to me, I did a lot of delegation of my work. Okay. So if you remember in our last interview with I guess the teacher college, I told that I manage my time very efficiently in terms of delegating my work. So writing assignments, putting everything. So I delegate that to people who can do it for me, and then I do the work which I like to do. And for example, I would like to work on my project, so I will do that more. I like to maybe chat with my followers on Instagram, so I will do that most of the times, and I will delegate most of my work, which can be done by anyone else. So for example, creating a database. Okay, now I have a project. Okay, which is like machine learning project where I need to get some image, I need to save that in DB, and then I need to do some machine learning processing. So half of the thing I will delegate it to my juniors, my mentees. I will tell Omkar to work on the backend. I will give him the whole complete backend. I will bring in Charandeep. I will give him half the work, and then I will sit and work on the main algorithm, which is the life of my project. So that's how I divide my work, which gives me the ability to spend my time equally. Okay, and get my sleep properly. At the same time, work with work with things which I'm already doing. I also play games a lot. So I dedicate like if you are going through Coursera, there is a very good course which I took, and that is one of the reasons how I am effectively managing my time. Okay, it's not like I was born with it, but it is a course which is named as Learning How to Learn. So I completed that with the honors, and it is amazing course. Okay, I will talk about that sometime. Maybe I will conduct a session where I talk about that. But it is really really awesome, and it teaches you to manage. It teaches you literally everything. So if you talk about how I sleep now at 12, while earlier I used to sleep at 4 or 5, that is because of that course, and it really taught me how I can change my habits within 30 days and 40 days of span, and it's really awesome. So I will share that link maybe after the event to your emails, and you can go ahead and look at it. The name of the course is Learning How to Learn, and it is really an awesome course. Okay, so yeah. Oh, Nikhil also has pictures. Okay. Okay. Prathamesh has another question: how to set priorities with extracurricular activities, projects, and college activities. So, for example, if you talk about, I manage my IEEE branch. At the same time, I was part of my dean's office. So I was working on different projects together. So what I used to do was, uh, the authority was me, the mastermind, the planner, and everything. So I used to plan everything, and then forward that to my executive committee members, or forward that to people who are more than happy, who are just new, who want to do something. Okay, and I should delegate a lot of work, as I told you. Okay, so whenever I talk about extracurricular activities, or in terms of college activities, so if you talk about like placements, I never sat for placement. I never wanted a placement, because I was like, even if I want a placement, I will go outside and I will apply and I will get a job. Because in college placements, it happens that you need to sign a contract and many more things, and then the TPO is also on your head, that why didn't you accept that offer and everything. So I never wanted to kind of apply there. So all that activities got removed. But my classmates had to sit for aptitude and all. So that time for free for me. So what I used to do in that time, I used to skip that aptitude lectures, and I used to work on my projects, or I used to go around roaming and maybe participating in hackathons or something like that. So that is the time period which I actually use. And I really didn't attend a lot of lectures, so that's why I had more time than others. And yeah, that is one of the reasons I can tell you. So yeah. uh, your first priority should be to, if you talk about in terms of priority, I will say that level up your skill set first, then work on projects. Okay, they both go hand in hand, so you can work on your projects and skill up at the same time. Okay, then comes participating in hackathons. It's totally fine if you don't, that is totally fine as well, but keep your projects, it totally means a lot, it will help you a lot. And then maybe attending sessions, webinars, workshops, that comes secondary, or maybe conducting them. So yeah, that's how I will prioritize all of this. Okay, yeah, Harsh, I also enjoyed that. That was a really awesome session. Okay, so if there are no more questions, we have already turned it into a 40-minute session. If we don't have any question, I will end it. Yes, anyone? No. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this, and as I told you, for certificates, once the video ends, you have an option to comment your learnings, and then I will match your name, and and then I will definitely send you the certificate. It just it is of zero value, okay? So it's just for attendance, okay? So yeah, okay, that's good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for attending. I really love doing such sessions. Please share your feedback so that I can plan it better next time. And I will do another poll on LinkedIn asking for next week's topic. So see ya. Bye bye.